Speaking of earning stuff. Speaking of earning stuff. Sorry to interrupt your story there, Jason, but we are live.
Okay,
but if you want to finish that,
I was at Dave's mom's house, and I was talking about our friend Randy back in the day from the World of Warcraft, and he was like, "Hey, so when is this WoW podcast?" So I was like, "We're working on it, man. We're working on it. Working on it."
Yeah.
So if you're listening, we're working on it.
Are we? We are.
Kind of. We're trying to put it together.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, if you guys are here right now, then you've already seen the title of the fucking most epic podcast that we're gonna ever do. Dave, what is this? Is this like podcast 136?
It is something like that. I think it's actually 131.
131?
Yeah.
It's taken us. Let's verify that.
Yeah, I'll verify it right now.
Let's verify that.
Yeah, I mean, going off of, it's 131.
131. So this will be our 131th podcast.
Yeah, 31 was pretty good because that 31 is, Halloween. It's the 31st of October.
Hey, there you go. So it's taken us 130 bullshit podcasts to get to the most epic event in Three Guys and a Mic history. The motherfucking first annual Halloween Triple Threat Extravaganza Spooktacular! Oh, man. That was just a dry run at how we're going to say that on the podcast. I don't know how everybody felt about that.
Yeah.
I thought we had good harmony.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just trying it on.
Look, if our stats are anything to be accurate, they've already left. So
yeah, everybody's done.
It's totally fine.
While I've been on here, I haven't seen anybody log in yet.
Yeah, it's okay. So, yeah, man. How was your guys' weeks? Good?
Long. I had to watch these three shitty movies.
Okay.
Terrible. I had a fucking respiratory infection. Maybe missed my goddamn Kill Switch and Slipknot concert, bro.
What the?
Yep. But I guess are we ready to start this thing or what?
Oh wow,
let's get it.
No pleasantries.
I mean, look, I figure we can save a little bit of the pleasantries for the paying customers.
Hey, quick question because this hasn't been brought up yet. What the fuck are we doing next week?
Have
we talked about that yet?
I guess it was an AFI movie.
Is it?
I thought it was.
We could.
Yeah, I mean, look, we can.
It's been a while.
We can sneak one in there.
Because the following week is the goddamn bullshit Wheels of Time, right?
Yeah, I mean, the following week we are completely from that moment on we are stuck. So whatever.
We're booked for life.
I will say this. I want to throw my hat into this. I would like to do a bracket if we can unearth one. I would like to do one. I feel like we haven't done a bracket in a little while. Like a nice little fun one. Nothing where I gotta fucking eat 10 candy bars or eat 10 different types of ice cream or anything like that.
Dave's gotta eat 10 candy bars or he's gotta eat 10 things of ice cream. Shut up, you fat pig.
You're a fucking dick face. And now that we've said these bad words, the YouTube algorithm is going to make sure this video never gets recommended.
Hey.
No, I mean, we can figure that out. But my vote would be a bracket of some kind and preferably something that, not too, because we're about to have a crazy rest of the year. So something kind of easy would be preferable, but I'm open to whatever.
I don't know, maybe...
I mean, maybe can we come up with anything seasonal? Is there anything seasonal? Best Thanksgiving dish?
Oh, Dave. Does that mean we got to eat 10 Thanksgiving dishes? We gotta eat 10 Thanksgiving dishes?
Well, it'd be 16, but
I guess the hard part is I'm sure there's like 10 like killers, and then we're talking about cranberry sauce.
I mean, look,
and fruit salad.
Look, that's fine, but you gotta have chumps in there, okay? You gotta have chumps that make the bracket interesting.
Right? Dave, when you said chumps, I started thinking like, what the fuck is that? Like, I've never heard of chumps in Thanksgiving. I don't know what that is.
Oh my God! Look, that's
stir-fried chumps.
The more I think about that, I think that's a great idea. Pat me on the back. I think we should do, the turkey bracket.
All right.
We'll see if we can come up with 16.
I'm sure we can. I mean,
so Dave, don't you do a pretty good turkey sound? I thought I heard you do like a pretty good gobble, and you're like,
I don't really like the I don't really like the way you phrased that, but I can do a decent turkey sound. Would you like to hear it? I'm not sure I can look at you when I'm doing it, but I can try.
Very much. I would like to hear it very much. Yes.
Okay. All right. You'll have to give me a moment. I have to prepare. Hold on.
I'm muting.
Okay. Just give me a second. Don't unmute. I'm trying to recover here. Okay, I kind of regret doing that instantly.
I'm hurting.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just basically the intro. Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic Presents.
That almost sounds like the Putty Patrol from the Power Rangers, if you're aware of who those are.
Oh, shit. Come on, bruh.
Well, I mean, Jason probably.
I'm dying.
Only cursory is aware of it.
God. All right.
I'm proud of myself.
We'll work on that.
Wow.
Yep. All right.
We'll work on that one. All right. Fuck that for now. I'm crying.
I know.
Hey, man, I'm like kind of messed up because I got my booster today, my Moderna booster, and I also got a flu shot. I got a fucking double shot. I'm kind of like, when they told me like, yeah, we can give you both. I'm like, are you sure you want to like mix? Like, is that okay? Like, am I gonna blow up? So,
damn, Dave. I thought I saw a lot of metal like sticking to you there,
dude. I mean, like, if this gave me superpowers, I'm gonna have to let y'all go. I gotta go make some money.
Gotta go fight Omni-Man and Homelander.
Dude, I ain't fighting nobody. What are you talking about? I'm just gonna go be a circus act.
David would be like Hitchcock, just flying around like flipping cars.
Yep.
You mean Hancock?
Hancock. There you go.
Hitchcock. That's
Alfred Hitchcock.
That's a director, I believe. So.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead and try to fit.
Josh, pull it.
Go ahead and try to fit that whole title in there.
Fit more in your mouth.
Oh my God, I need water.
Oh shit! God damn! All right, here we go.
I'll mute.
Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents the first annual Halloween Triple Threat Extravaganza Spooktacular. I'm your co-host, the Human Dart, along with
Jason Tsunami
and David Disaster.
Dave.
Oh, Jason tried desperately to not to be in time with Josh saying that, but it just sounded laggy as fuck.
Well, I thought Josh was going to do like we did on YouTube, but he didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't sell out for that one. Hey, man, could we have made this fucking title any longer?
Maybe.
Yes,
probably.
We could have. We showed restraint.
Yeah. But would we have? Would it have been worse? Or I'm sorry.
Yes.
Would it? Yes, it would have been worse. I'm sure.
Yes.
But hey, we are here, and if you haven't guessed by the title, it's Halloween, or when this is being recorded, it's just before Halloween. But
hopefully you'll get to hear this on Halloween, not like November 7th.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
So for those of you that's wondering what's going on here, hopefully you've checked out some of our back catalog here, and you've seen some of our classic movie showdowns that we've had between Wyatt Earp and Tombstone.
Yep.
And we had Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. So hopefully you've seen some of those. So this is basically the same thing, but it's a triple threat match.
Yes.
To the death.
Yeah. So here's what we did. We took kind of like the 3 big Halloween movie franchises. We all chose our own horse to bring to the party here, okay? So Dave, who did you choose to bring?
So I brought Michael Myers, and he's being
the
OG. He's being represented by the 1978 original Halloween. Not the fucking not any of the garbage remakes or anything like that. So
Dave, don't get ahead of yourself. We'll get to the garbage remakes next year.
Oh,
correct.
Excuse me. Yes, you are
Spoiler
100%
alert.
correct.
All right, that's who's in one corner. Jason, who did you bring to the party?
I feel like Jason should have brought Jason, but whatever. That's whatever.
Freddy Krueger for Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, Dream Warriors, 1987.
Oh shit!
I was 2 years
All
old.
right. I was 3. All right, I brought Friday the 13th. I brought Jason Voorhees, being represented in Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, the 1986 classic.
That's a good year for heavy metal.
Yeah, as it turns out. Okay, we got the 3 movies out in the open here. Some of you guys may be wondering, why the fuck are we doing these movies? Because it's our podcast.
That's right, guys.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And that's
I mean,
we do what we
Pretty
want.
easy.
What do you want? It's these are what we thought in these categories were the most entertaining movies in their franchise.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we're gonna kind of go through here and figure out a
I would
winner.
like to point out that he was not born yet when any of these movies came out.
Because he's not old as fuck.
Yeah,
That's accurate.
you stupid young bitch. Anyway, so hey, so here's what we've done. We've come up with 9 categories, and we have a super secret 10th category if we have to have a tie break.
Bonus.
So what we're going to do here, it's going to be a little different, is in each category, we're all going to be able to vote on our own thing here. And every vote in that category counts as a point, and at the end of it, whichever movie / villain or killer, whichever one you call it, has the most votes, they win the first annual Halloween triple threat extravaganza Spooktacular!
Spectacular!
All right.
Jesus.
So here we go. So what we're going to do, so one...
Go out there, speakers in our car.
I know. I'm gonna have to lower that shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So one of the categories here, this is going to be a roaming category, okay? We're going to category times in the podcast, but it's going to be a little bit of a long one here, so we wanted to break it up. So the first category we're going to talk about here is overall which killer has the best origin story. So Jason, being our recap guy here, he's going to give us origin story. He's going to start with one, and then we'll come back to it after a couple of categories. Jason, hit us with that first origin story.
All right, I'm going to let you guys pick. Who do you want me to go over first?
Michael Myers.
Do it.
All right, Michael Myers. Michael Myers was born October 19th, 1957. In 1963, when Michael was 6 years old, he claimed to have suffered from bizarre, inexplicable nightmares and heard a voice in his head that would tell him to do things and hurt people. Michael committed his first act of murder, when he did. His parents were away, and he was at home with his sister, Judith. After Judith's boyfriend, Danny, left the house, Michael, dressed in a clown costume, went into the kitchen, picked up a kitchen knife, walked up the steps, and stabbed Judith to death. Michael was taken to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where he became the patient of a psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Loomis. Spent 15 years in Dr. Loomis's care, barely moving, barely speaking a word. After nearly 15 years of captivity, Myers broke out of the asylum, and for 23 years, hunts down the rest of his family to kill them.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
I got nothing more.
All right. So
Jason,
Mike Myers there.
Jason, I got a question. I got a question for you.
Fucking ask me a goddamn question. I ain't got no fucking answers.
I was just messing with you. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna revisit that category as we go on. That was my. All right. So the first category on the list here, as we always do in these, this one is not going to have a vote. This is just going to be best box office performance. All right. So. Yeah, before we get in here, Jason, which one do you think has the best performance?
From the box office standpoint, probably. Yeah. I would probably say the original Halloween, followed by Nightmare on Elm Street, then Friday the 13th.
That's the exact order that I had. My guess was.
All right, so I'll go in reverse order here. So I'll go from lowest to highest. And you guys will be surprised.
Uh-oh.
All right. So the lowest movie on the list, Halloween.
Wow.
No, that's a joke. I'm sorry. I was just kidding. The lowest movie on the list is Friday the 13th, Part 6. All right. I didn't want to say it because it hurts. All right. So this movie was made on a. 6. Yeah, it's Part 6. So, maybe the kids aren't turning out for Scorcher Part 5 anymore. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
So look, it was made on a budget of $1 million. Actually did make 19.4 million, 19.4.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
No, so it had a good return for its movies. All right. The next movie in the line here is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
There you go.
So this movie was made on a budget of $4 million. This movie made, I was shocked by this movie made $44.8 million.
Damn,
that's pretty fucking good.
That's fucking good, man.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
No. All right. And obviously the winner of this category made for a budget of $325,000. Made for nothing.
Jesus.
This movie barely beats Nightmare. This movie made $47.2 million.
Wow. Close.
So, that was a lot closer than I thought. I expected Nightmare to be much closer to Friday the 13th in terms of that.
Well, let me just say that I can't believe they spent that much money on that film.
Which one, the $4 million?
No, the $375,000.
Oh, yeah, $325 on Halloween. I was about to say they definitely spent $4 million on Nightmare because at least $1 million on Freddy's skeleton fighting the fucking cop.
They didn't spend enough.
God damn. Bro, couldn't they get the fucking guy from Kroll to go make that fucking thing?
Yeah. Or at least whoever did the claymation for the puppet scene.
Yeah.
Puppet scene in that skeleton.
So just to clarify, since I am keeping score, that there is no points being given out for this, or are there?
Yes,
that's a point for Halloween.
Okay, just wanted to verify. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. So first category down, Halloween in the lead. I don't like it, but it's a fact. All right, next category here. We're going to go with Best Protagonist from the movie. So just so we can outline who these folks are. So from Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis, who played the character Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
From Nightmare on Elm Street, we have Heather Langenkamp, who played the doctor Nancy Thompson.
Yep.
And in Friday the 13th, we had Tom Matthews, who played the character of Tommy Jarvis.
Yep.
All right.
The initial vote there.
So I'll go first because I didn't really know how I was going to pick a winner here. I didn't know how you guys were going to pick a winner. So I just kind of went with who I think just performed who I think was the most natural of as far as how they acted and stuff. And I just went with Laurie. She had to take care of 2 kids to keep them alive. She fairly realistic in her reactions. I mean, all her friends are fucking dying around her and shit. And she does kind of get Michael at the end, even though she does need help from Loomis, obviously, to fully survive. But she She did a much better job than her friends did, obviously.
Dude, she should have used those kids as fucking meat shields.
She should have.
But overall, I went with her. I just feel like she, she kept her cool under pressure as best she could, and that's who I'm going with.
So your vote's for Halloween.
Yep.
All right, Josh.
Look, obviously I brought Friday the 13th to the party here, and I want to vote for this movie every single time that I can, because I know that Dave is going to hamstring me here in this thing. But I cannot vote for Tommy Jarvis, because fuck, this dude is a buffoon.
He's
right?
an idiot.
Like, look, Jason is, if you haven't seen the movie, first and foremost, spoiler alerts, okay? You should pause this and go watch them, okay? Listen, if you haven't seen it, Tommy Jarvis, like, Jason is dead and buried, and he's having nightmares, and so his idea is, let me go dig him up, okay? Let me make sure he's super dead, and then let me burn him. I'm going to cremate him. Yeah. Well, instead, he does this on. Oh, by the way, he's gonna burn him. Okay. It's like a fucking monsoon outside. It's hurricane level raining. You ain't burning shit.
Lightning storm.
Anyway, he drives this fucking metal rebar from a fence into Jason, and then he gets struck by lightning twice. And then Super Jason is born, kind of like the Super Shredder from back in the day. This is Super Jason. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Tommy Jarvis is really the protagonist, or maybe he's like the closet antagonist. And I can't give Dave a vote for Halloween because I just can't do it.
That's fucked up.
Nah, I'm joking. I got to go with Lori, man. Look, the chick in Nightmare on Elm Street, she sucks. She's not a good actress. Tommy Jarvis is really the villain of that movie, so unfortunately, just by process of, it's got to be Lori.
All right, look, I did not think we were going to have a clean sweep in any of these categories, but
I forgot Jason and how much fucking Jamie Lee Curtis and her old lady pudding that she sells.
We needed at least one scene with Jamie Lee Curtis in a mini dress of some kind. We didn't get it, but it doesn't matter because she's still fine as Jamie Lee Curtis. My vote goes for Halloween.
All right, I love the reasoning. All right,
damn it!
I know Halloween's after a big lead.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Jason, give us that next origin story. Let's go with.
You cut off before we heard which villain you picked.
Oh, my bad. Let's go with Freddy Krueger.
All right, Freddy Krueger. Born in May of 1942, Frederick Charles was conceived after a nun, Amanda Krueger, was raped by over 100 maniacs, eventually leading to the birth of her son, Freddy. Raised by his mother and her alcoholic Mr. Underwood, Freddy would live a troubled life, being beaten regularly by Mr. Underwood and mocked at school. During his childhood, he would cut himself with a razor, pleasure, culminating in the murder of Mr. Underwood with the same razor. As an adult, Freddy would live in Springwood, Ohio, working at a lower power plant, living with his wife, Loretta, and his daughter, Catherine. In secret, however, Freddy would hide a dark underside of his personality, murdering and molesting many local children in his workplace boiler room, torturing them with homemade glove with fish knives attached to his fingers. The parents of the children tracked him down, found him in the boiler room where he took his victim. The parents poured gas into the room, set him on fire, which caused his melted like facial features. While his body died, his spirit lived on, with the dreams of the group of teenagers and pre-adolescents living on Elm Street. What's the next category?
All right. So moving on to a category here about the killers themselves, we're going to go with the most iconic look. So Between Freddy, Jason, and Mike Myers here, just which one has just aged throughout time as having the best, most iconic look? Go ahead, Jason.
I thought about this for quite a while. Like, I brought Freddy to the table. Freddy's glove is, somewhat iconic. The sweater, I guess, is somewhat iconic. The fedora is, I guess, somewhat iconic. But it really does come down to the two masks involved. The mask of Jason and the mask of Michael Myers. And what I tried to do is I tried to analyze it. I tried to think about it. I was even going to look up shit, but I'm just not. The mask I see the most on Halloween, hockey mask. My vote goes for Friday the 13th.
So I'll go next. I do agree with Jason that it for me it also came down to the two slashers here with masks. While I do think Freddy has a very cool look overall, I don't typically see it around Halloween, too much these days, and It requires a lot of somebody to try to cosplay as Freddy Krueger, right? But with these other two guys, you can pretty much just put on a random ass jumpsuit and throw on a mask and you're done, right? And then it's like, oh shit, yeah. they look just like one of these guys. I brought Michael Myers to the table. However, I cannot deny the hockey mask. So my vote is for Friday the 13th. / Jason Voorhees.
There you go. Yeah, so I was trying to find, Amanda and I are moving here soon, so we've been purging some stuff. And I guess I threw away the shirt that I had that at my CrossFit, they used to do a death by week, so it's death by all these movements and stuff. And the very first year I was there, they gave us a death by shirt, and it had a giant Jason hockey mask right in the center of it. Nice. Yeah. My vote is definitely going to be for Jason as well.
That's two sweeps in a row. That's two sweeps in a row.
Now, I will throw this in. Jason, I don't know if you bounced this off of Tamara. I did ask him a question. And Amanda's answer on this actually was Freddy Krueger. She thought he had the most iconic look.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't get the wife after she watched Friday the we watched Friday the 13th. After we watched that, I think I lost her.
She abandoned the cause at that point.
My movie was the one that derailed it, huh?
She jumped off ship.
That's my bad.
Sorry, I went down the ship though.
So Jason,
all right.
I think you got one last origin story to go, and then we'll vote on that, huh?
All right, so next is Michael Myers.
Jason Voorhees.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Memory. Anyway, Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees was born in a small town of Crystal Lake on June 13th, 1946. Jason was afflicted with severe facial deformities and mental disabilities. There's a long, convoluted story in between that has nothing to do with him, but in 1957, Pamela, Jason's single-parent mother, was hired by Mr. and Mrs. Christie as a cook at their summer camp. Now, while being bullied by some other campers, Jason attempted to escape from his tormentors, but the cruel children caught up with him at the dock and threw Jason in the water, where he presumably drowned. Well, presumably is a big word, but he did actually make it ashore, where he presumably hid in a nearby shanty for years, waiting for his mother to find him, surviving as best he could on whatever he could find or steal. Jason's mass murderers spree began in the summer of 1984 when he learned of a new group of teenagers occupying the nearby lake. His story is a lot more complicated because there's the big giant section in there from the time that he presumably drowned and his mother went on a killing spree to exact revenge over 20 years on the campgrounds of Crystal Lake. So it's not as cut and dry as the others.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we couldn't go with like the first movie in every series here, because the first Friday the 13th movie actually really doesn't feature Jason. It's Jason's mom.
Correct.
So that's really what motivated us to kind of pick different movies in the series.
Yep.
All right, so we've heard all three origin stories. Who wants to open
first,
up?
Josh?
Yeah, I'll go first. Jason, first of all, thank you for the research. That was great work.
Yes.
Did Jason's mom, did she have any sisters or anything like that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I can ask questions like that.
Oh, my bad. So listen, I think the first thing is first. It's very obvious that we can't pick Freddy Krueger as having the best origin story because my man is molesting children, and that dog just don't hunt.
Now, can I clarify something on that real quick? This is something that I actually
we got some child molesters.
This is something that I actually know. The only canon, or not canon, but the only Freddy Krueger confirmed child molesting as part of his story was the 2009 or 2010 reboot / remake. Yeah. In none of the other movies, he did not molest children. Well, he killed them, but he didn't molest them.
In the original series, from the start, he was supposed to be murdering and molesting the children. But
in that order?
Because well, probably, who knows? Either way, right? But anyway, apparently the way it went down was the molesting part was a little too taboo, and they actually moved it. It was brought back. It was brought back like they in the remastered, rebooted, whatever.
I was surprised to hear that because I only knew him as a child murderer.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think for the sake of this, the reboot again. That's next year. For this, we're not considering his origin as being a child molester, a child murderer. So not a whole lot better.
Way better.
But there you go.
So look, what I heard in these three stories. Okay, I heard one story that really stood out. It was a story of survival. Okay. A kid who had like everything, like the whole world stacked against him, okay? Mentally challenged, okay? His face not looking great, all right? We all know that. So nobody's really taking care of this kid in his life, okay? They think he drowns, and then he goes and takes care of himself and survives in a shanty for years before his mom actually finds him. So this kid, like, it's a story of survival. It's uplifting, if nothing else. It's more of a revenge story because he's coming back and he's taking revenge on all these kids that fucked him over. It's a Jason Voorhees vote for me.
I'll go next. It sounds more like a story of a whiny little kid who can't get over his dead mommy. That's what it sounds like to me. So it's absolutely not a Jason Voorhees vote, but at the same time, I mean, Michael Myers is now. I'm going to say something about Michael Myers. I would tell you right now, I'm not going to vote for Michael Myers, but I want to talk about his origin story a little bit that Jason didn't touch on. Michael Myers doesn't have a gimmick like the other two characters do so much. He is pure evil, right?
Yeah, he's just fucked up in the head.
He is pure evil that his doctor basically figured out after 8 years. There's no saving this kid. I want to keep him locked up as long as possible because he is just evil incarnate. All right.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Not very well, and the other 7 or 8 movies will show that as well. I'm sure. But I think that's hard to translate, and other movies in the Halloween series do a better job, or they try harder to explain that, but I think it's fine. But as far as like for the purpose of this throwdown here, I went with Freddy Krueger just because he he's got a very complicated I mean, not complicated, but it's just a very fucked up backstory. And, there was a lot there. So I kind of just felt like in this case, I had to give the nod to Freddy.
I like how Dave had to clear out the child molestation stuff so he could come in with his vote.
Yes, 100%. That was calculated, and I'm not ashamed to do it.
Look, I brought Freddy to the list, and it's going to be my vote. I could go into a long diatribe, but ultimately, Freddy is a child of sin, and I don't know how much more sin you have than having a nun raped over 100 times, and bear this hell on earth.
I mean, medically, medically, only one of those people would be his father, right? Like, he's not the father of 100.
Technically, you could have a couple of the.
That's not how. I mean, I guess, but realistically,
yes,
that's not how biology works.
Correct, but
I'm taking away my vote. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so Freddie got 2 votes there, and Jason got.
Yep.
All right. So moving on here, the next category we have. This one's most notable sound. Okay, so what we did here, we took obviously theme, which is the music that's created by John Carpenter. From Nightmare on Elm Street, we have the little kid. I don't know what you call it.
Like nursery rhyme type.
Nursery rhyme, yeah. Which is it's the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah.
3, 4, better lock the door, right? And this thing goes all the way up to 10, and looks terrifying. And then in Friday the 13th, we have the very, very cool
yeah. Which I don't even know what you call that.
I don't know what it is. I just have it written down as the ha 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 sound. But man, dude, it does a fucking great job of really getting you into the fucking movie. So, all right, I think this is a cool category because I really think each one of these. I think there's a clear favorite in the category. I think most people are going to look to the Halloween theme here. But I just think it's worth talking about the other things because each one of these has their own little sound thing that if you heard it anywhere else, it immediately brings you to this.
Yes.
It's incredibly notable,
So,
I'll go first.
Okay, go first.
I will go first, Dave. Thank you.
Bitch, I'm gonna mute you.
Christ. Anyway, the Freddy nursery rhyme, pretty catchy.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody does that at school. And the Michael Myers theme, while good for the movie, isn't something that's done in public or done in the privacy of your own home to scare somebody. It's going to be it's going to be a Friday the 13th for me, because you could do that noise anywhere and creep somebody out.
I agree.
So, Friday the 13th for me.
All right, I'll go next. So I'm gonna have to disagree with Jason fairly strongly on this.
Bring it on, Dave.
I think when I thought of this, yes, most notable sound. How I look at that is if I play these 3 sounds back to back to just a random person, which one of these is going to immediately bring recognition? And
Dave, not to interrupt you, but I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you right now. I couldn't tell you
You're
right
a bad example.
now at all. I just watched it 4 or 5 hours ago. I couldn't tell you a single bit of whatever the sound that we're talking about is on Halloween.
You don't know the piano theme?
Not one note.
What are you talking about, dude? The fucking as soon as the movie starts, it's way too loud. Every time the fucking station wagon pops on the scene, blaring in your fucking head.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you a single note from it.
Oh man, I would tell you that's my only gripe. Go ahead, Dave. I don't want to take anything away from you. That's my only gripe about the song usage in the movie is like it's way too goddamn much and it's too loud.
So yeah, I'm long story short, I think
it's gonna be 5 minutes.
I think it's Halloween for me. I just think it's I've heard its use in pop culture songs. Pretty much anybody who has been in front of a piano has at least attempted to try to randomly play this song and have tried to figure it out. I don't think you can. I think there are lots of people I could do the and they wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They would just look at me like I'm dumb. And the Nightmare on Elm Street thing, I would say that would be a close second for me. I immediately, when I hear that, it does take me back to my childhood a little bit, but I don't think it's aged quite as well, in my opinion. So my vote is Halloween.
Yeah, I keep coming back to this Freddy Krueger one. Where it's like, whenever you get all the way down to 9, 10, never sleep again. Like, dude, 2 nights ago, I had this respiratory infection, and I didn't sleep. Literally, I kept waking up, and I was hallucinating, thinking I was, like, working in a factory, and I was like, I knew how to make this thing, and I kept waking up and telling myself, I know how to make it. I don't remember what I was making, but I know how to make it already. Like, quit thinking about it and just go to sleep.
Jesus.
Wow.
And then I missed work the next day, bro. Like, dude, never sleeping again? That's a fucking terrifying thought.
It is.
So I just wanted to give a little bit of love there to that song because I think of the 3, that's probably the most terrifying option. I do, however, though, I do think Halloween theme is more notable. I think that's more universally, even in, especially just because they came out with a new Halloween movie here again. I think that's the most notable theme. I think more people know that. So I will go with the Halloween theme, even though I was tired as fuck of hearing that by the end of the goddamn.
All right.
So your vote's for the Halloween or Freddy?
For Halloween, yep.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. This is my favorite category anytime we get shows. We're going to go with Best Kill. Now, normally we might throw out like some already pre-chosen kills, but again, based on the point nature of this competition here, we're all going to get to choose our own thing. So, I would like to go first.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So listen, here's the deal. Nobody can choose anything from Halloween. Because, Dave, I don't want to hear it. All those kills are shit. Those are shit, okay? So look, really this is between 2 movies, okay?
I think you should have let me go first.
So really this is between 2 movies, okay? This is really between Nightmare on Elm Street and... Now, Nightmare only has a couple of good kills. I would say my favorite kill from that one is whenever Freddy comes alive from the TV, grows mechanical arms, grabs the blonde girl and says, "Welcome to prime time, bitch!" and then fucking rams her head into the goddamn TV, okay? That's a good option.
That's Dave's favorite.
No, it's not. It's not even at all.
That's a good option.
It's not a good option.
I'm gonna go with one of the kills from Friday the 13th, and there's 3 main kills in here. I'm hoping you guys are gonna share your thoughts on some of those kills, so I don't want to steal from you. For me, I'm gonna go with when Jason flexes the hardest, and it's when the sheriff is on top of him, and he's trying to hit him in the head with this fucking rock. And it's not that he's trying to hit him in the head; he's actually hitting him in the head. And Jason's kind of laying there, just like, okay, I'm just like, it's kind of like Andre the Giant, the man. He's like, I'm trying to make you feel you're doing well, right? It's kind of like that. And then all of a sudden, Jason's like, oh, hey, I hear your daughter back there. I got to go now. Let me just fucking fold you in half. I mean, it's just instantaneous, like, and he folds this dude like a fucking lawn chair. It's indisputable. That is the best kill right there. Mark it down.
All right, I wanna go next here because I wasn't privy to the rule set that you have called an audible here on the goal line, and you decided to quarterback sneak your team across for the finish line here.
That's right.
I want to talk about bed sheets and pretending to be a ghost.
Oh, fuck off!
So there's a guy wearing glasses, and his name is Michael Myers. And now, look, I can't even finish this because I'm bullshitting. So
Dude, the guy takes the time to go find a sheet.
Look, I don't
Put
even
it over his head, in which he's already wearing a mask.
Yes.
And then put the glasses on of the guy
Yes, whatever.
who's fantastic in the bed.
I get
totally. In 30 seconds.
Totally. Because that's what the chick says. Come on, guys, keep up.
He lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah. Anyway, no. Actually, that guy getting killed is actually probably the coolest death that's in there because
that's the best. That is the best death in Halloween.
Yeah. But no, that wasn't my kill. I didn't pick from Halloween because that movie is not about. Realistically, that movie is not about the kills. That movie is more about the suspense and more about the kind of ambiance. Like that's what makes that movie scary. Is just the kind of build up, right? In my opinion, anyway. But no, I think there's only one true winner in this. I think while the kills in Nightmare on Elm Street are funny, they're that's just it. They're just funny. Like I don't, whatever. I think the only option is the lawn chair kill. It is I have it in my notes. Police officer fold. When he's fucking, because I just imagine that, like, because it happens so suddenly. Now I don't know if it's just a lack of budget, but it literally I rewound it a few times. Jason grabs him, and then the camera cuts, and then it cuts real quick again, and he's already got the dude on the ground, like blap, like you are now folded, like as if I'm folding clothes. I'm about to hang this shit up with a coat hanger, like I'm done with you, and the dude's just like sitting there, like like just dead. But
it looks like the T-1000 after he got shot with.
Yeah. Now my question is, I don't think
he's dead instantly.
There's no way he is dead instantly. I think there's a world where if you were immediately brought and sought medical attention, you'd probably survive.
You're probably paralyzed.
I was going to say you probably never walk again because you got turned into a fucking Goomba. But you might live. But yes, that is definitely the kill.
I struggled with this one, and I'll tell you why. It's only because I enjoy the kill in both Friday the 13th and in Nightmare on Elm Street. I agree with you that the lawn chair is probably the best kill, and just for whatever reason, one kill that. For me, there's two kills in the Nightmare that I like. One is just I don't even know why. I think it's just because of the visual. But when Freddy turns his hands into the
syringes,
yes, and the girl looks down at her arms and all of her
and they're like little suckling mouths. They want to suckle some teats. Yeah.
They're just like, I don't even know if they make a sound, but every time I visualize that, I just hear.
Oh, they do.
They're like,
feed me. That is probably my favorite kill in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I'm glad he kills her because she's so fucking crazy. She is more cringy than the goddamn Wizard King.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
She's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
In
my dream, I'm beautiful and mad.
Yeah, she should have picked a better power. Her power sucked.
Yeah, she should have had better, knives.
Yeah.
If you're the Wizard King and you're lightning out of your hands, you probably is not a good idea to run.
Oh, to like float directly towards
striking distance.
Yeah, stupid as fuck.
The folding the dad in half is the best kill.
That's the third sweep.
I know,
that's the third sweep,
and it's a movie sweep. It's the actual kill sweep.
Because really, like, dude, I mean, there was not going to be a better kill. I think what adds to it is the fact that that's not really a throwaway character that he kills with that kill. It's also the fucking chick's mom, or sorry, dad.
My runner-up would be when Nancy gets it in the Nightmare on Elm Street, because I remember when I watched it the first time, she's like the main character until that moment.
Yeah, so
she ends up getting gutted.
Yeah, I remember when I did a little bit of research, I didn't even say I haven't seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies other than, like, I think the only one I've ever seen other than this is Freddy versus Jason. And I don't even know if that shit counts. But
no.
Not really.
But when I was researching, it was like, that was supposed to be a big moment. And I remember when I was watching, I was like, oh, no, Doctor's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in
the other two,
right?
The
other, right? Yeah. So
I think she's in.
I got to rewatch that series.
I don't remember if she's in 2.
All right.
For me, Freddy's Dead is still my favorite.
2 is not good.
Hey, just to give a little love to the other 2 kills that are worth talking about here. The one is definitely the head twist.
Yep, that
when he pulls old girl out of the cabin and twists her fucking head off. That was Amanda's vote. And then the other one is when they're in the Winnebago and he crams that bitch's face right into the wall, and he runs her. He
turns her into a liquid Terminator.
Yeah, turns her into fucking Han Solo.
Another kill that I liked was when Freddy does the puppet kill and pulls that guy's veins out of his
tendons.
Arms.
Yeah, the marionette.
Yeah, his tendons and veins and stuff. And
that is a good one.
Makes him jump out the top of that tower.
Yeah. A kill that I want to point out that is the stupidest kill and deserves, like, you know, I don't know, some special award for the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen is in Friday the 13th. And this almost made me not vote for Friday the 13th just for this kill alone, because it's some nonsensical fucking Fast and the Furious type shit. So this guy's a hunter out here, or some whatever. This guy's out in the woods.
Paintball.
This guy's out in the woods with a machete. Dave. He's out in the woods with a machete. I don't care. These storylines fucking suck. And this guy's got this machete, even though he's supposed to be paintballing. Whatever. He's cutting the woods. Fucking Jason grabs the dude's arm when he's in a backswing and yanks it off. But if that was all that happened, that would have been brutal, because the dude would have been like on the ground like, my fucking arm. But no, that's not what happens. He pulls him so hard that his arm comes off, and then he flies into a tree. And
he grabs him by the back of the head.
No, he does not. No, he does not. Nope. Just the force of pulling his arm off makes this dude fly into a tree. His face hits the tree, and when he falls down dead, there's a smiley face on the tree. A literal smiley face.
How do you know that the smiley face wasn't there already?
Because I rewound it several times, and I confirmed that it wasn't.
Dave, let me tell you something about the stupidest kill in any of these movies.
Don't bring up Halloween, because I'm gonna be
when a 6-year-old child walks up the stairs with a giant butcher knife and goes up to the sister who's 18 at the oldest or youngest, probably.
Well, we hope she's 18.
Yeah, because she's naked as shit, and she's like, Michael, what are you doing? And he slowly raises the knife, yeet, stab, 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 stab. Dude, I would have donkey kicked that motherfucker across the room and thrown his ass out the window before that knife ever even touched me. Nonsensical, my ass,
bro.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, you know what, Jason? You that was a great segue here. Next category, actually, the most iconic weapon. Since you already brought up Mike Myers and the butcher knife, we have Jason Voorhees and the machete, and we have Freddy Krueger and the glove with the knives.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first because I think this.
Go, Dave.
I realistically, this should be a sweep if you guys are being honest.
It should be. It should be if you're being honest.
I think this was Freddy's category to lose, and I don't think either one of these guys takes it from him. Yes, Michael Myers has the machete, and he fucking stabs the shit out of some people, and yes,
with a butcher knife.
Butcher knife. I'm sorry, Michael Myers, a butcher knife, and then Jason Voorhees does have the machete, and it is. I know it's supposed to be iconic, although in this movie he uses he kills him a lot of different ways. So I don't know that necessarily Jason Lives is a good representation of the machete. But I mean, Freddy has been about his fucking power glove, Edward Scissorhands shit, his entire career. So look, he's ride or die on those. And so am I. So that, to me, that is no question the winner of this round.
I'll second that simply because it was the only weapon of these three villains that actually their weapon became a toy. So you could buy Freddy Krueger's glove with the plastic blades on it. So I'll go with Freddy Krueger.
I'd go to fucking Party City and for $2 to buy a machete with blood on it.
Yeah, it's not Jason's.
Look,
sure it is.
I got 2 butcher knives in my kitchen right now.
Yeah, those are way more expensive.
No. I'll say this: I don't own a machete. But
do you own a Freddy Krueger glove? You got one in the garage, Dave? You got one in your fucking boiler room? Oh my god!
Boiler room, motherfucker. We live at sea level. There's nothing. I can't dig in this ground and make a boiler room. What's the fucking problem?
Yeah, I like how you're trying to okey doke us there. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you come over my house, man? Come over my house.
No. I'm good, dog. I feel like you're gonna Buffalo Bill me and then cut my fucking skin off and wear me.
Put the lotion.
You want that fucking Josh suit?
Oh my goodness.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket. Listen, here is an argument that I was thinking of, okay? If we're watching these movies, I think it's pretty clear that Jason only uses the machete a few times, right? We see him kill with his hands plenty of times. We see him kill with the spear from the fence. Jason is like an equal opportunity killer. Freddy used his glove a lot more than I thought he did. He killed a few people with his glove, but he also cut up Jesse and left little notes on his stomach for everybody to see. I would say Mike Myers was batting 1,000 with his knife. I think he killed everybody that he killed in the show or in the movie. I think he killed him with that knife, right?
He actually strangled. He
strangles 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, he strangles the girl in the shirt, but then he cuts her throat.
That is true.
He cuts her throat at the end of it.
It's
not. Look, this isn't what's the most used weapon. I thought it was curious that I think he actually uses his on every kill. I think you're 100% right, though. I think it's got to be Freddy Krueger. Just thinking about that while watching those movies growing up, that shit is terrifying.
Yep. Well, I don't know what the next category is, but it might be a good lead-in.
All right, so we're down to our last 2 categories here. So if you guys have followed us for a little while, maybe you watched some of our AFI podcasts, or maybe even following a Metalhead. We established our own proprietary rating system for our own entertainment of TV shows and music, and that's been called the Shitometer. And the name of the game there is lowest score possible. We're trying to establish how much shit is in the stuff that we're watching or listening to, and would we recommend it? For this, we thought, let's create a variation of the Shitometer. Same rules apply, but this is going to be specifically for any horror. Yeah, in the Halloween spirit, for any horror movie category. We've now established the Slashometer. Give it up.
Yep.
All right, so like we said here, same rules apply. Lowest score is the name of the game here. We are going to Slashometer scores for every movie. Who would like to go first?
Do we want to do all 3 each, or do we want to go movie by movie?
Let's go movie by movie. That's a good call.
All right.
So
where do you want to start?
We want to go first. We'll go with Halloween. Go for it, Dave.
All right.
We know you love it.
I do. And when we pivoted to the slashometer, it was.
I have a question. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The same rules apply. So we're talking entertainment value.
Correct.
Sure.
Perfect. Go.
Now I wouldn't say, okay, so for me, I just looked at it as like overall how much did I enjoy each of these movies? And I took a lot of things into consideration. How I felt they built tension, how I felt they were, scary to a point. Obviously, we're all grown men, so like for me, I mean, I wasn't necessarily scared by any of these movies, but generally speaking, how did they kind of try to, get me to feel a little bit of fear?
Don't let Dave fool you. He was wearing his Depend.
That's right. So for Halloween, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think Halloween of these three movies is the best movie, and I'm not even sure it's close. I think Halloween is fairly well written, and of these movies, I think it would favor the most on our more traditional shitometer score. That being said, I'm giving it a 19 on the slashometer. I think this is excellent.
Wow. Dave, are you going to keep all three of these scores and give us the average?
I can definitely do that for you.
All right. For Halloween, again, look, I don't disagree with Dave. I think this is probably the better traditional movie of the three, okay? But we're talking entertainment. And Halloween is slow as fuck. There is little to no blood at all in this movie. And trying to watch Mike Myers kill Jamie Lee Curtis at the end of this thing, it's agonizing. Like, he is like a stone cold killer through most of this movie, and then he gets to Jamie Lee all of a sudden like a bumbling idiot. It drives me crazy. The audio of the movie, like the first time you meet Jamie Lee Curtis, you can't even hear what her dad is telling her because the music is so goddamn loud while she's walking down the street. Dude, there's so many issues with this movie, and it's just overall, I didn't find it very entertaining. 69.
69. Wait.
69.
There's a word for. Oh yeah, 69. That's my favorite. It's a favorite song. Yeah, it's my favorite number.
Yeah, that's a Squid Game deep cut. If anybody hadn't seen it.
Correct. All right, so Halloween. Of the three movies, this was, like Dave said, probably the most traditional, straight-laced, to be taken somewhat serious slasher / horror / scary. It is a little bit slow in the beginning. I don't even know why the fuck he's even going after Jamie Lee. Drops off the keys while he happens to the house. But there are issues with the movie, but it does try to be suspenseful in the fact that when you watch most of slasher films, you get so much death that you're waiting for it. Whereas in Halloween, you find yourself in a spot where it's about to happen, and then it doesn't. It's about to happen, and then it doesn't. And you're like, I don't think it's going to happen here. Oh, it did. So I'll give it credit on that. I gave it a 38. I would recommend the movie for somebody who's a traditional, suspenseful style. But it was not all that entertaining for me. But I could see why people liked it.
All right, that gives us an average of 42.
All right.
Which one's
all
next?
Right, we'll do Friday the 13th.
All right. So Friday the 13th. So this movie. It tells you exactly what it is within the first 10 minutes when Jason punches some dude's heart out of his chest.
Once he's
another solid kill, by the way.
And that's a movie that basically, you're about to see just Jason kill a bunch of people. And nonstop. I didn't really. To me, this movie, more so than Nightmare on Elm Street, this movie felt like I could accomplish the same thing by watching a kill highlight video on YouTube, and it would basically be like I saw the movie. With that said, I barely know what the story was, and I don't think the movie cares about the story at all. And to Jason's point, I got numb to the kills. Like I wasn't. It was just like basically everyone on screen at a certain point, I knew they were gonna die. Outside of the main characters, I was like, pretty much everybody else is going to die. And
yeah, but you didn't see the sheriff getting folded like a lawn chair.
Well, I mean, I know when he's standing over Jason. Okay, well, Jason's going to kill this man. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And so with that, I feel like the kills were cheaper, even though they were more of them than the other two movies. I feel
17.
I feel like the kills here it was too much, and I would barely recommend this movie. I gave it a 47.
Okay.
I feel like there are much better horror movies out there by a mile.
All right, I'll go next. Friday the 13th. To what Dave said, it tells you exactly the first 5 minutes of the movie. Jason is a rotting corpse with maggots and earth skin. He gets struck by lightning and somehow he's made whole. And from that point on, basically, it's just a gore fest. Which is the part of a movie like this, which is the only reason I tune in. Like, I don't like these. I never watch these movies. Because if the purpose is to be suspenseful and scary, they just don't work for me. None of these work for me. So I start watching it for entertainment value. I know these are bad movies. They're supposed to be bad movies, in my opinion. And how much entertainment I get out of it is not exactly correlating to bad or how good the movie is. Because Friday the 13th is a perfect example of terrible acting, terrible, almost terrible everything. But of these three movies, I laughed so much watching Friday the 13th. Like, I laughed more than the other two combined at what I was watching, because it's just at some point it becomes pure entertainment for what it is that you're experiencing. Something that's bad. I gave it a 28.
I didn't go low enough on my score.
My fucking man. Woo. You know, on the shit-o-meter, we only reserve single for the greatest movies.
Oh my god! And if you, this is fucking stupid. I'm going to probably be adjusting my score because you guys are going insane.
I'm really glad that we moved this to the slash-o-meter, because I couldn't give it a single digit on the shit-o-meter because that wouldn't be realistic. But on the slash-o-meter, now that we changed the rules here and we can do just horror movies, I think this is my favorite horror movie of all time, Dave.
That's fine. I've already adjusted my score.
Listen, here's the deal. You guys know I love to watch movies.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I've seen this movie, believe it or not, probably north of like 40, 50 times.
Jesus
I love this movie. I've watched it in the last year before we were even talking about doing this podcast, and I've watched it twice since. I love this movie. This is why I threw this movie out there. I love the kills. I think it's ridiculous. Listen, Dave, don't adjust your score. Don't be a little girl. All right.
It's too late. It's done. Because y'all are operating on a completely different plane of existence, and I have to.
You can't change your score.
Oh, 100% I can.
You already gave it.
Well, okay, we'll see.
Okay, fine. I want to change my score for Halloween then. I want to give Halloween 100.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What's your score?
Look, I want to give Friday the 13th a 25.
Okay, all right. Dude, you're gonna go single digit. You were gonna go ridiculous. Then I was gonna have to counteract that. All right, what's next, Freddy? The only one that's left.
Nightmare down the street.
All right.
All right, look, I'll start with this one.
Go ahead.
Like I said just a while ago, I don't care for these films. I was never a fan of these type of films when I grew up. I didn't like any of these scary films. I remember watching the original Friday the 13th, and I thought it was just a big waste of time. But I did enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And of the Nightmare on Elm Street, this is my favorite. Without a doubt, if I have to watch something that's going to be in this genre, this is the movie. I watched it today. What?
Before you give your score, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think you find this movie to be your favorite of the series because it's the closest to actually being like a fantasy movie?
No. I'll tell a little secret. Not really, but when I was younger, I didn't have like nightmares, but I used to dream all the time, and I would really like heavy sleep.
Jason, hey, in your dreams, were you beautiful and bad?
I was beautiful and bad.
Yes.
But sometimes I would have, these vivid dreams, and I could feel myself start to wake up. And then I could stay within the dream and semi-control what I was dreaming about. And when this movie came out, I thought it was just like, wow, this is just like kind of like how I dream. And if I was ever going to have a villain, what other villain could you possibly have that could do whatever he wanted to because he could be in this dream? So I always gravitated to Nightmare. And I always liked this movie because this is the one movie where people tried to on the offensive within the dreams against Freddy. I always thought the concept was really great. And this movie, even for a slasher film, budget on this film is not bad. And we can make fun of like the claymation and that's fine. It's dated, not age well. But I still am thoroughly entertained when I watch it. I gave this movie a 20.
God damn.
I love this movie.
So listen, of the three movies, Amanda watched all three. This is the movie she actually gave the highest slash-o-meter score to as well. This was Amanda's favorite. This was not my favorite of the three, but this was Amanda's favorite. Look, I've thought about this movie a lot over the last like week or two, and to me, it dawned on me today. I was just like, dude, this is a fantasy movie. Like, this is everybody dreaming, and then they turn into whatever they want. So the guy who's like, "Come on, Freddy, you pussy!" That guy's like super strong, right? And then like Kristen can just do gymnastics. Like everybody else has this fucking like thing, and she's like, "I can do flips." But that kind of changed my outlook on the movie a little bit, right? Because I was like, oh, okay, now it's just a fantasy movie, and the stupid wizard is just a terrible wizard. The movie is entertaining. I don't think it's as entertaining for me. I'm going to give the same score that Amanda gave on this one, which is a 44.
Okay.
So here's where I'm at with these movies. And since I'm going last, then I'll be able to get on my soapbox. So when I was rating these movies, yes, entertainment value is important, and you guys have made it a point to that's clearly where primarily your scores are coming from, is where you entertain. But I feel like for me, in the spirit of Halloween, not the movie, but in the spirit of these being horror slasher films, I felt like the feeling of tension and horror was very important to me. And while none of them are gonna scare me, right, I felt like I needed to feel some type of tension that the movie was creating. And I don't know if these two, if the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, these two examples that we have just weren't poor examples, or if they were just too fantastical for me to ground me in any type of reality to where I could like feel anything other than just to laugh at the movie, right? And that's kind of where I'm at with them. So that's kind of where my scores are coming from. So I would say, was I entertained? I guess, sure. But that's not what I was looking for when I was watching these movies. So my score with Nightmare on Elm Street, I gave it 1 point better than the Friday the 13th, just because there was a few more kills in it that I think were a little bit more creepy. I guess a 46. So that I didn't say the average score for Jason, so it's 33.33, and then Friday the 13th gets a 36.66. So Friday the 13th would take it.
It wins the Slashometer?
It does win the Slashometer score.
Let's fucking go.
Look at you.
All right.
So does that count as 1 point for it?
Yep, 1 point.
All right.
All right, so here's the deal. We've reached the final category. And I think this is the most important category here. I think this is going to tell us a lot about what we think of these guys. All right, name of the category is who would you least like to fight? All right, and it's Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, or Michael Myers.
I'll go first. So how I want to look at
parameters.
Well,
parameters.
I was about to put out the parameters that I think you guys should consider, because this is what I consider. Okay. You're in a house and you are on their, you're playing by whatever their rules are from their respective franchises. So
with Freddy, I'm asleep. I don't have the option to be like, hey, I didn't go to.
Yeah, correct. If you're Freddy, with Freddy, you're asleep. With Jason and Michael Myers, you're trapped in a house, okay, and you gotta survive for an hour, right? That's kind of how I looked at it. You're stuck with them for an hour, which basically means you're gonna die, right? So, for me, I think it was pretty easy. With Jason, he's gonna stab you. He's gonna crush you. He's gonna choke you out. He's gonna fold you like a lawn chair.
Fucking lawn chair.
But relatively speaking, the death is going to be, although horrible, it's gonna be pretty quick. Relatively speaking, with Michael Myers, you're gonna get similar treatment. You're gonna get choked up, choked out, or hoisted up. You're gonna get stabbed several times with the butcher knife, but more or less, you're going to die in a similar fashion that you would with Jason. With Freddy, though, he's the only one of the three where it's going to be tailored specifically for whatever the worst shit you can possibly think to happen to you. So if you're afraid of cockroaches, guess fucking what? You're going to get eaten alive by a giant cockroach.
He actually, in one of the movies, he turns a guy into a cockroach.
And then crushes him. Yes. So,
yep.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like,
a Roach Motel.
In my opinion, if this isn't an auto Freddy sweep, like, I don't know how it's not a Freddy sweep, in my opinion. So, for my vote is Nightmare on Elm Street / Freddy Krueger.
Dave, I couldn't say it any better. I'm just going to tag right onto you and agree.
Exactly. I think it's a sweep, and I say it because of the three. Like, there is no surviving Freddy Krueger. Like, you could, in theory, pull a Jamie Lee Curtis and beat but you're not going to defeat.
All right. So that sounds like a Freddy Krueger sweep here. Okay, Dave. Do we have a tally? Do we have a tie?
I hate to say this, but we don't have a tie.
Very good. So we have a definitive winner of the first annual Halloween Triple Threat Extravaganza Spooktacular. Dave, tell us who is the king.
No, I'm going to first tell you who's in third place because we got to milk this.
Oh, pardon. Who is the bronze medal winner of the first annual Halloween Triple Threat Extravaganza Spooktacular?
Well, first, I would like to who thinks is third? Who do y'all think is third?
Freddy.
Feels like it's Freddy.
He is not. It is Myers. It is Michael Myers.
Wow.
Just
after that hot start?
Don't sound surprised because you didn't vote for him since then.
Dude, he was out to a big lead.
Yeah. So yeah,
no. I am actually shocked because I really did think that Freddy was last.
No, I'm just saying Jason, you literally didn't vote for him since the second category. So not a surprise for me since I'm keeping track that he is in third with a whopping 6 points.
Damn.
Well, that was not on purpose.
Yeah.
Just so you know, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Friday the 13th either, so.
Well.
I tried to be as objective as possible.
Well, I would say hold your horses on that because the points might say different. So there is only 1 point separating a winner here.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah. And part of me wants to throw out our mystery category just to see, but it's a little unfair since we already have a winner. So 9-8 was the final score between the two, and that is Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. So it was close. That final category of least want to fight was so big because it gave 3 points to Freddy. But it was one short of a tie. And the winner is Jason Voorhees.
No! Let's go!
The single win for the Slash-O-Meter ultimately took away our chances of a tie. So, yeah. And you know what's funny is that notable sound, that vote by Jason is what gave it. It was what took away the tie.
Because had changed my vote.
Here's the thing. Had Jason gone Halloween with the two of us, we would have had a tie.
Yep.
And we could have used our super secret category that I think would have been funny, although probably not appropriate.
All right, well listen, here's the deal.
We would have had a tie with Freddy and Jason.
We've already determined that Jason Voorhees is the superior killer and the superior movie franchise of all these. Let's go ahead. Let's roll out the super secret category. Dave,
let's do what all three of these franchises do, and reboot this shit, and just assume that Jason voted for the most notable sound. Oh, guys, we got a tie. So if Jason would have did that, we'd have a tie. And the super secret category is who would you want as your tag team partner if you were going to try to get the WWE tag team title belts?
Okay, now I just want to say, because this is a WWE, we have to be awake.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
Okay, so the only thing that's fighting on Freddy's behalf is his fucking skeleton.
Yeah. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm bringing Jason Voorhees to the party. He's super fucking human, bro. He's folding. That's his finishing move. The fucking lawn chair. Hey, Chris Jericho, lion tamer? Nah, dog. Lawn chair.
I'm gonna go Michael Myers because he's got the choke slam. He could definitely choke slam folks. He picked up homeboy and then stuck him to a wall. So he's got super strength. Really, though, could you imagine those two guys in a tag team? Holy shit, dude. They would just fucking crush people.
I think I would have to go with Jason. Only because, let's just pretend like the last 5 seconds happen and he gets killed by a engine. But he gets shot like 20 times. He gets stabbed. He gets in the head. I mean, like, he's unstoppable. I don't even know how the boat blade actually killed him.
Now, like in some of the Michael Myers movies, he's literally like in one of them he's beheaded, and then he comes back in the next movie. So like they're both. I'm just saying, like, they're both fucking like. This shit is stupid. Like, it's just fucking dumb. So I mean, at the end of the day, Jason Voorhees looks like he was going to take this either way. So
yeah,
it's good that he won on the more traditional categories anyway.
My man.
And it was close.
It was close. It was very close. 986. That's what it ended up being. So.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, if you didn't check us out on YouTube before, we're coming back next week with a bracket. We're going to be talking about the best Thanksgiving food. So we got a week here where we got to try to, eat all these Thanksgiving foods here. But that's what we got going on next week. And then we got a bunch of TV shows.
Yeah, luckily we've all eaten most of.
Yes.
Yeah. Coming up here in December, we do have The Witcher Season 2 coming out. If you guys do follow us on YouTube, check out our initial Witcher trailer. We sent that out today on Saturday, so it's blowing up. It's hot. It's viral.
Sure.
It's something.
It's something.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's viral. It's more like just a mild cough. It's like, just it's kind of
it's like a wet fart.
Yeah. Oh God.
What have really set it off was had I been on it, then it would really have gone. I was at my brother's birthday.
Oh man, so, I was gonna say you were working on deals. You were making moves.
Yes, right. Yes, big time. I was big time.
So all right. Well, this was fun. In the meantime, stick around and listen for next week, and we'll